I heard some crazy stories about Ted. So, on a total fucking side note, you want to hear something really cool?
Yes.
Rick story fight. I park at the RV park, right? That's where I find my zen. I get away from the strip.
The RV park is zen.
I hang out at the RV park.
That's another title of your book.
Mm-hmm. I go to the lake. Guess who my motherfucking neighbor was?
Who?
Suge Knight's brother, Ron Knight.
Oh.
How crazy is that?
What is that like?
So, this big, giant black guy comes walking over to me. First of all, his trailer is all black with red lights. And this guy comes over to me and he's like, "Hey, man, one of y'all shit on my porch." I said, no one shit on your porch. He said, "Yeah, I think one of your motherfucking dogs and shit on my porch." And I said, "Nah, man, I don't." He's like, "I just want to make sure it was an accident and wasn't anything, like malicious. Like you guys, I need to make sure my area is secure." And I was like, "Nah, man, I don't think so." That's kind of funny. And then I look at him and I look at his rig and I'm like, "Hey, man, like, what do you do?" Because he's in like a $3 million RV, right?
$3 million?
Oh yeah, my RV is really nice and his is extra nice. So he said, "Oh, I do a little bit of real estate." And I said, "No, you don't. Like, really, what do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, man, I do a little bit of like music stuff, you know what I'm saying? Death Row Records." And I was like, "Oh, shit." And then he just goes on talking about, he's like, "Yeah, my name's Ron Knight. And, I was in there with Suge." And I was like, "Oh, shit." So then, of course, like any high schooler would, I asked him any question you could ever imagine.
What was it like in the early days of NWA?
Oh, totally. Exactly. I was that guy asking him everything. What was it like? How, what was Eazy-E like? And and he told me that story that they did. The Straight Outta Compton was pretty right on, man. Like they did a real good job.
Huh.
And I asked him about Ice Cube, and he said that Cube, he doesn't really go out and party. He's just really to himself and making money. And it was straight. I asked any question you could ever think of, I asked, for sure. We sat there, for all the nights leading up to the fight, and he actually stuck around, and I got his number now. We're pals. Whoa. It went from someone shit on his porch to we're buds now.
Was it a dog that shit on his porch?
I have no idea. It wasn't me.
Whatever you have to say, who shit on that dude's porch? It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
You're hanging out with some shady characters. You're hanging out with some dudes who make some odd choices.
Right?
Well, I didn't see it. But it wasn't me.
I have no idea. I was like, I said, man.
Yeah, that's a rude thing to do to a person.
Right?
Shit on their porch. That's about as rude as it gets.
So then we do the fight, and it was fun. We have Sunday Fun Day, and I sent you that video.
What was that video you sent me?
That was the park in Rec holding me at gunpoint.
Why?
Because they thought... All right, let me back the story up. Let me get everyone plotted in here. So I have 2 labs.
Should I send the video to him so we can play it? Can we play the video?
I don't know.
Is it legal?
What we did was legal. I don't know. I don't want to get any of those guys in trouble.
All right, so let's not play it.
Let's not play it.
Okay.
It's a pretty outlandish video, though.
Yeah.
That wasn't me filming because I was too busy losing my fucking mind, just like my buddy Mikey. So my dogs were at the marina loading the boat. Another boat rage incident, of course, because that's what I do.
What is boat rage?
It's so like road rage, but in a boat. But I wasn't raging. My dogs run up. There's this guy. He has 2 pit bulls, and my dogs run up to play with him. Well, this guy starts losing his fucking mind with us. So it turns out all my guys run over to get our dogs. There was no like confrontation or any kind of fight or anything, but they grab the dogs. The guy starts talking shit, and one of my buddies is like, "Fuck you." The guy calls 911 and tells them we didn't know. He told him that we were pulling guns. So we pull the boat out, we're wiping it down, cleaning it out. Well, the park and rec comes in hot, thinking that we have weapons, right? So this is the wildest shit ever. We're out there. They're like, "Put your fucking hands up," right? We're in shorts, no shirts, have no weapons, clearly. Right. Put our hands up, and they start talking to us, telling us to turn around, get on the ground. As soon as they tell us to get on the ground, these other 2 Rangers pull up hot.
Right.
Jump out with M16s, cock and load, and point the guns at us like crazy. Well, at this point, I lose my fucking mind because there is no reason you need to point a loaded M16 at me like that, right? And, yeah, so we start yelling and screaming, and in mid-between the scream, whoever the main ranger is kind of takes charge. He's like, "Just talk to me. Don't worry about what they got going on over there." Meanwhile, they're pointing M16s at us.
Right.
So I'm like, "Fuck you, motherfucker. Shoot me, bitch." Like, what the fuck, right?
That's the difference between you and me.
Right.
That's when I start crying.
I'm just like, you fucking coward. Like, you gonna point a gun on me? I'm in a t-shirt and shorts. Like, fuck you piece of shit.
Whoa.
And he's like, so this is what I swear to God, this is what the Ranger says. Look at me. Focus on me. Great fight last night. I need you guys to focus on me. Right. So me fucking telling this dude I'm gonna fucking rip off his fucking throat. He
says great fight
last night.
So are these guys? Are they all aware of who you are?
Just the one guy is at this point, but the
How
other
does
two
he not tell
hillbillies
his
that come,
friends this isn't some fucking crazy meth head?
right? Like, and we're out there having a good time. I'm not drinking for once in my life, so I'm like sober, running the boat. We're cleaning at this point, getting ready to. And I explained like my dogs got out. This guy's, and so he says, "Well, they said you have weapons." So he's like, "Cowboy, do you have guns?" And he, true-blooded American. I said, well, of course I have guns. Duh. It's in my truck. So now the story on the other guy's part is looking more realistic, right? Like, God damn it, of course I have a fucking gun in my truck. So they get the gun, they run the gun. Of course it's not stolen. I give him my concealed carry, and I'm like, dude, we never wielded the gun. Like, it never got pulled out. It just so happens, dumb luck, that I have a gun.
Right.
And, I mean, it all worked itself out in the end, but...
Cops are in a tricky position right there. Because, in one way, like, they don't know what the fuck is going on. They show up.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows?
Somebody tells you something, you have to show up like
and
that.
I didn't know they showed up thinking that we had guns.
Of course.
So I'm losing my fucking mind. Like, hey, man, all this shit in the news, like, you can't just pull a fucking gun pointing at me saying you're going to shoot me. Like,
yeah.
So I'm losing my mind. And my buddy Mikey's totally off the fucking radar, off the hand. Like, shoot me, walking towards these cops.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah, it was...
That's not good.
It was wild. So in the grand scheme of things, thinking, once they told us, the guy called and said you guys pulled weapons on him, I see where they're coming from, but it was just fucking outlandish, man. It all worked
common,
out.
though. That's so common. People do that shit all the time. They say you pulled a gun on them.
Like, and I was telling the cops, like, you can't just do that. You can't just call the cop and say, oh, this guy pulled a gun on me.
Well,
like,
you should get in trouble if you do it. It shouldn't be a free pass. You shouldn't be able to say the guy pulled a gun on me and not go to jail.
Yeah, it should be the same. If I pulled a gun, I should get in trouble, and had the guy, you shouldn't be able to just say, oh, this guy pulled a gun on me.
Yeah, well, it's a conspiracy. You're conspiring to tell a false narrative so that you can get a guy in trouble for something he never did. And that guy winds up going to jail. Like, you're a fucking terrible person. You put a guy in jail for something that he absolutely didn't do in the first place.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I had to break to the couple. Like, dude, I just fought last night. I said, first of all, there's 18 of us on the boat. There's 18 of us sitting here. Like, you really think one guy we're gonna pull a gun if there's 18 of us? Like any scenario you could think of in your life, like we'd pull a gun. Like, come on, man. And that's when the cops were like, you have a good point. They're like, yeah, what are you even talking about?
Did you get the guy over? Did they get the guy?
No, they wouldn't even bring it up. So, and then
isn't that weird too? Like, you can't even just like have a man-to-man with the person and go, "What are you doing, man?"
Well, first of all, and you can't even have a man-to-man with the cops because you're under punk status right now.
Right, of course.
Sit down, everyone on the fucking curb.
Right.
Like, it's like they just like take your humanity away, which enrages me even more.
Of course, but they have to do it.
They have to. I understand from their standpoint. They have to protect themselves because there's a lot of idiots out there. But
yeah, it's one of those things where there's no winner there. It's a terrible position to be in for both parties. For them, they got lied to. Someone told them you had a gun. Yeah. They come in thinking about their kids, their wife, their life, their fucking mother, that no one wants to see them dead. They gotta. Someone could shoot them. This could be, who the fuck knows what they're coming to. They're coming to a gun. Someone's got a gun. You see this Chris Brown shit on the news?
No.
Have you seen this? The cops just surrounded Chris Brown's house. They won't let him out. He's been in there since 3 o'clock in the morning. Cops showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're waiting on a warrant. Some woman says he pulled a gun on him. So he's held up in his mansion. Helicopters are flying overhead. I was watching on the news at the gym today. I was like, what the fuck did Chris Brown do? I don't know if he did anything. Some woman says he pulled a gun on him. So
after that happened, he threw a duffel bag out that had weapons and drugs in it, apparently. And then,
well, that's smart.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I, for one, have never thought Chris Brown to be a guy who makes irrational decisions. I look at that gentleman, I'm like, that's a guy that I come to when I'm confused and I need some guidance.
Like you.
Yeah, he fucked
so maybe
up.
He should be my manager.
Maybe. How about this? We have many levels of management.
Okay.
You come to me, I go to Chris Brown.
And then we figure it out.
Work this shit out. He threw duffel bags with guns. That's hilarious. I swallowed some of that.
You got to spit it out.
I got most of it. No, it's already swallowed. I got most of it still stuck in there, but it's hard to keep it in there. I'm a rookie at this.
You're a rookie. It's all right. You're a white belt. By the end of this podcast, you're going to be a blue belt.
I'll be a stripe. I'll have a stripe on my belt. White belt with a stripe.
So yeah, there's nothing. I have nothing against armed forces, or at all. Of
course.
And so it just that was a video I sent you, and it was just fucking outlandish. Crazy. I
recognize that it's a hard position to be a cop.
Absolutely.
And I also
with so many knuckleheads out there, you never know. Especially everybody carrying weapons these days.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the other thing. Here's where it's tough for cops. A lot of cops are Second Amendment believers. So they support the right of a citizen to hold arms, to have guns, and to use them in a responsible and legal manner.
All right, so
a lot of cops are gun enthusiasts.
For my theory on this?
Yes.
Well, it's not really my theory on them, but it's my theory of how I think they think. So if I'm taking you, let's go back to scuba diving. Let's just use scuba diving as an example. If I take you cave diving, if I take you cave diving with me, right? We're in a cave. You run out of air, right? So your only source of life is me.
Right.
So you have to grab my air out of my mouth, and we now have to share. But what if you're sucking too much air and using up mine? I have to make the decision. I'm going home to my girlfriend, my family. So I feel like that's the same mentality they have to come into these situations. Like they're fucking coming home to their wife and their kids. So no matter, right? So you get wrong peril. I'm running here. So I'm living. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you already used your air. Motherfucker, you ain't using up mine.
Right. I understand.
So that's how I feel like they have to come into these situations. Like, listen here, we got called on you, you pieces of shit. I don't know the situation, but in my mind, I'm going home. So whatever that means.
Right.
And I'm not mad at them for that.
I'm not either. I understand that. I understand the survival instinct, and I understand especially if they don't know you. I assume if you're scuba diving with someone, that's someone who's a really close friend. That'd be a real hard issue.
It would be.
That'd be way, way, way harder. In fact, if you show up at some scene and some dude is supposedly assault with a deadly weapon, and you don't know, and you're wearing a vest and your gun's drawn, who knows? Who knows what the fuck's going to go down?
Yeah,
it's hard to talk with this stuff in your lip.
But you do know you're coming home to your wife and your kids.
A lot of dudes make that decision. There's a lot of dudes, I'm sure, though, that would be in that scuba diving scenario and say, I would rather die with my friend than let him die down here. It's tricky.
Then don't ever come with me because I'm going home. Don't ever come with me because I'm going home. I'm going home. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
I am going home.
That is the issue with that cave diving shit. I watched this cave diving thing where they were exploring these ancient Mayan sites. The only way to get to them was going through these caves, and they would go to these caves and find all these ancient Mayan ruins. But they're going through these caves for like hundreds of yards in a cave under the ocean where you're breathing out of a fucking mask. I'm like, oh Christ, I can't.
I love it. I fucking love it.
I know you do.
So I took my buddies always ask, they want to go scuba diving with me, and they want to go cave diving. So I took them up to we have a cave in the mountains. So I just took them in the cave.
Of course you do.
We went in with this is dry. We walked in, right? Walked into the cave with lights. I made them turn the lights off and find their way out. Like, all right, let's worst case scenario here. What the fuck y'all gonna do? And they freaked out, and every one of them had to turn their light on. I'm like, this cannot happen in cave diving because if we're under the water and we lose our torch or we lose our air, pandemonium is gonna fucking break out. We have to be right. So I was like, you guys fail. I'm definitely not going diving with you guys. But just to give them a little touch of what it's like, you really don't know who you are as a person until you're put in one of those positions. Like you can talk big and bold until you practice and been there, which